Five, four, three, two, one.
AM in the PM only on A2D Radio. Tom and Brent, these guys are fucking awesome.
Tom and Greg, AM and the PM, only on A2D Radio. New show here, and what we're going to do weekly is we're going to bring in guys from A2D or outside of A2D that you love. Besides Ryan, like we know you don't love Ryan, so we're going to do better. We promise to deliver. We promise to deliver more, but no, we start with a great one, and we'll continue to stay with great ones throughout Wednesdays. I know. I'm trying to hype him back up now. Okay, I saw the look.
I appreciate it.
I saw the look. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Greg Mwakovic, Ralphie D over on the ones and twos. The family out there joining us. We got a ton to talk about tonight. The Sixers are right around the block. 10-9-8. Sixers begin, and we're going to dive into it. We're going to dive into predictions. Okay. How far will this basketball team go? Are they the beast of the East? We got so much to talk about Sixers. It's going to be exciting. I got a lot to get off my chest with the Sixers as well. Eagles miss on Ramsey. So what other options are out there? We're going to dive deep. We're going to get to the bottom of it and see how we can still upgrade this football team moving forward. Eagles keys to victory against Dallas. It is Dallas week, baby. It's time to go. If you're not ready, check your pulse, okay? Or jump off the water bend. That's simple. All right? This is a huge football game. Huge football game, and I expect this football team to be ready to go. And Doug expects the same thing by guaranteeing a victory. And you can say he didn't guarantee it. Listen, he didn't say I guarantee one, sure. But he still said, hey, we're going to go down there and we're going to win, as he should say. Listen, the people have a problem with that are the same idiots before 2017, like Greg, who said, when he said, hey, we got as much talent as our Packers teams. But the Packers team will win a Super Bowl, if not more, right? And what ended up happening, people called him out. He's an idiot. He's this, that, and the third. Well, that aged well. We went on and won a Super Bowl that year. All right, so we have a ton to talk about. Will the Eagles back up? The Eagles will back up Doug Pederson's guarantee. Do you agree? Disagree? Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. Podcast-wise, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, SoundCloud, and we are brought to you by ATSSportPicks.com. Use promo code A2D. Get 20% off. We're here to give you money. You want it, you take it. ATSSportPicks.com. So, gentlemen, family, it is a big freaking week. Giddy up. Eagles will back up Doug Pederson's guarantee, in air quotes. Greg?
I will agree. If the Cowboys weren't as injured, especially on the offensive line and the wide receiver position, I may disagree. But the way this week is turning out, no Amari Cooper, even if Tyron Smith and Lionel Collins play, they're going to be, a shell of what they usually are.
Yep.
So I think as bad as we are in the secondary and as bad as we look sometimes on defense, I think it actually matches up well for us this week to go into a tough place that we don't normally play well in and get a win.
Well, you're talking about a team, two teams going in sort of a different direction in terms of health a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. You talk about the Eagles are expected to get Darby and Mills back this week, and you talk about a Dallas team that two or three starting corners are banged up. They're just not banged up with Amari Cooper and their tackles. You're talking about two corners that didn't practice today. So, I mean, listen, they're going in a different direction. Big time in a different direction in terms of injuries. So, yes, it is favorable. So,
agree.
right? Eagles will back up Doug Pederson's guarantee. Do you agree or disagree?
I actually agree. I agree. My overall feeling about this game is very similar to how I felt heading into the Detroit game. Kind of like there's just so much up in the air, and it sucks, like you were talking about, mainly with injuries. Who's going to play, who's not. When you talk about Dallas, the players you were talking about, it doesn't look like any of those guys are going to be playing. So obviously that's huge. I've said in the past that Amari Cooper, and this might sound shocking or weird, I could argue that Amari Cooper, over the last handful of games that he's been a Dallas Cowboy, has actually been more important to the overall offense and Dak Prescott than Ezekiel Elliott has. Honestly. I mean, you look at it to where they were on a stretch of 9-1 since he was signed there. Ezekiel Elliott, and especially when you talk about our run defense, to where that's like the only consistently positive thing you could talk about this football team.
They threw the football on us last year.
So you would assume, well, and it's especially true with Amari Cooper dominated us when he was with the Cowboys last year, and then going back all the way to 2017, I get it, he was with the Raiders, but he torched us then. Yep. So he has a very good history against us. And then you look at it, too, where you talk about, all right, one of the better receivers in the game who has really good chemistry against us. If he's playing against our secondary, I mean, we're making random guys, undrafted guys look great. Who knows what we would have to go up against with him?
Well, the only devil's advocate I'd have to that is we're getting our two essential beginning of the year, what we expected starters back in that position who haven't really gone up against him much if you think about it. Because the last time it was, both times it was Rasul. Mm-hmm. It was Rasul and Amari that Amari really torched the game in Dallas. It was a Rasul Douglas one who has now had a history of getting exposed. Yes. Right? So what do we know about Rasul Douglas? A history of getting exposed. These two corners coming back in any health is better than what was out there. Sure. So yes, and having no Amari Cooper is gigantic, and all that definitely matters into it. I mean, I agree too. I think they back it up. What we know from this? What do we know from this football team? We talk about it weekly. Whenever they're up against it, we know how resilient this group is. And I'm not going to bet against their resiliency now. I'm not going to start now. You start to get some of the guys you've won with back. Yeah. And two, guys that are probably hungry to get on the football field, especially Jalen Mills. Guy's probably hungry to play. It's been a year since he's been out there. Mm-hmm. You're jonesing to play. He said it was like his first day of high school. It was like the first day of high school. You were just jacked up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I get it. I get it. So I think you're going to come out with an edge and a little bit of swagger. And I think guys around are going to be a little bit more confident in the guy that's playing next to him than before. And I expect that we're going to get over this stigma that we can't beat this team. Right. We're going to get over it this Sunday. And everybody in that locker room knows that what they've done to us over the past recently here. So it's a game where it's a revenge game in many ways. And the division early on is up for grabs. Right. And you got a chance to go down there and really put your hand around their throat and choke them out. We talk about it in sports all the time. Listen, I started to put the nail in. Right, I got a chance to go down there on Sunday night and put the beginning of that nail in that coffin for this division. Absolutely. It's not going all the way in, but I got an opportunity to start it. And if I'm going to start it, let's start it. And let's make sure we get a good nail. All right? Let's go.
Because as we said all year, the only threat to the division is the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So if you can go into their stadium and get a big win early in the year, that's a huge start to doing, even though you're not playing as well as you thought you were playing. What have we said all season so far? The division is still at hand. The division is still yours. You can still go 8-8 as long as you go 6-0 in the division. No,
I know that very well. But, I mean, I just, I like what he said. I like him saying that we're going to go down there and we're going to win this football game. And I expect, and we're going to give her predictions for the game and obviously our offensive defensive player of the game. And we're going to continue to dive into this football game. But, yeah, it's two teams going, in my opinion, in a different direction. And obviously Dallas is playing for their lives, but both teams are 3-3. Yep. So both teams obviously have a lot to play for. But I look at 11, and obviously there's going to be no Deshaun. So this offense, these guys around him need to step up this Sunday. Mm-hmm. They need to step up around them. I was listening to some jabron, I think it was Joe Giglio, who has no freaking clue, and was talking about like he's not there yet. He's not there yet. And it was like, what guy are you watching? What agenda are you on? And he's not there yet. You see the no look to Alshon? Like, he ain't there yet, right? He ain't. I don't know what else.
There's a lot of issues on this football team.
Carson's not one of them.
11's not one of them.
I don't understand when anyone brings up Carson to begin with, because at the end of the day, what do we want him to do? We lead the league in dropped passes. Do we want him to throw the ball up 50 yards and then run and catch it?
That'd be great if he could, but yeah.
I would love it.
Can you?
He might need to.
So getting to the family out there, Michael DeAndrew says, what up, Mike? Eagles got to go to Dallas and make a statement or they are done. I think they will. So, okay, now the first part of that, do you think they're done if they go down there and lose?
No.
No?
Depending on how they lose.
Okay, Ralph?
You know what I mean?
It's tough. It's tough because, we'll be, 1-1 in the division, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be, they'll be 3-0. So, I'll say no.
Okay.
I'll go
Yeah,
no.
I don't think it's over yet. But again, I guess it does depend on how they lose that football game. And the second statement we all agree with. I think they go down there and they're going to win this football game.
Yep.
Kyle says, I agree with the poll, not because we are good, but because the Cowboys stink that much right now. Have a good show. The Cowboys aren't playing well, but I'm not buying into they stink. I still think it's a good football team you're going to play against, and it's at home, and their backs are against the wall.
Yeah.
Tristan Russo, D-Jack's definitely ruled out pretty much. It's still up in the air a little bit, but most reports coming in are saying doesn't look like he's going to play.
I don't know what the hell's going on over there because we heard, and I get it. It's the game of reports. We understand that. But all week, the last 2 weeks, honestly, it's okay. He's targeting Dallas. All week, even to this morning, there was, he's feeling better. It's likely, and then 5 minutes before we went on the air, it flips. I don't understand how something that quickly can go from likely to, oh, no, it's not happening. I don't get it.
No,
I don't understand it at all.
Well, I just think because it's the thing, it's that, what you're messing with.
I just think it's also that type of injury.
Yeah, where it's either
the abdomen, the groin for a guy like Deshaun. You need that to be 100%.
Yeah, you're right.
You need that torso area to be able to do what you do out on the football field. So, this is Deshaun Jackson. Everybody who begged for him back, you got him back. And I wasn't against getting him back. But this is what he is. He's banged up a lot. He's older, and this could have needed surgery, and he's trying to avoid it. And I still think week 8 or week 9 is more realistic of a return. Because if he was sort of semi close this week, but not fully 100%, you would expect in the next 2 weeks that he's going to be as close to 100 as possible and attempt to make a return. Now, can he strain it again? The doc said, yeah, absolutely. When we talked to him 2 Sundays ago, so I don't see anything different there. Let's get back to the family. It's a big week, but even though guys are down over there, I'm not going down there thinking this is cupcake talk.
No.
I'm going down there for a war.
Their front is still, on the defensive side, is still
Listen, that's still a damn good football team. I'm so sick and tired. I know they lost 3 in a row. I know they're going in a different direction. There's so much talent down there. Mm-hmm. It's sort of disgusting. And to me, it's on Mr. Clapp. And now it's starting to become on Mr. Clapp. But besides that, back to the questions, back to the comments, questions. Where were we at?
Tristan Russo.
I already said Tristan.
Yeah, I'm saying that's where you left off.
Anthony Adas, the Vikings are trash, but Jim Schwartz killed us with not blitzing. I can't.
They're a good football team.
I'll blame a lot of things on Jim.
They're 4-2 now, so they're not that much trash.
I'll blame a lot of things on Jim. I'm not going to blame this past Sunday on Jim. I can't. Not with the personnel out there. Not with that personnel, dude. I just can't. And I like to give Jim a little bit of blame. You know what I mean? And he's never wrong, so I like to let him know he's wrong when the time comes. Tristan Russo. Nelly's having a horrible year. He's going after this season. Listen, brother, I agree with you. And
Let's go.
You know Nelly was one of my guys, but you can't drop big passes and you can't be one-dimensional. Now, I always would say this, and I'll stick by it. If Deshaun was healthy and Nelly was your 3, we'd be in a way better situation, and we wouldn't be talking about how we don't want Nelson back next year.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
No, absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Bill Middlebrook, not close to done, even at loss. You beat the Bills, you're 4-4, and you're definitely going at least 6-2 in the second half, maybe 7-1. Now, I don't disagree with you because the last forever cupcakes, Bill. But that being said, if they go down there and get their ass kicked, I can't buy into they're going to go on a 6-2 run now.
It was like
I hope it, but I can't buy into that.
That was my thought process when I said it depends on how they lose, because it was like the Phillies coming down the stretch, right? Oh, they're still in it. If only we could go on a 5, 6, 7 game win streak. Mm-hmm. But we couldn't do that all year. So why am I going to put my faith in a team that shown it hasn't been able to do it?
Well, I'll give Bill one thing on devil's advocate to what we're debating them with is that this team has done in the past.
They have.
When you said they're done, boom.
Yeah.
Like last year, dead in the water, gone, over. Night, after the Saints game, I ordered about $100 worth of food. I was done. And I was sick to my stomach. Not only from the food, but from the product. Right? I was sick. That's a resilient group. That's a resilient group last year. To go on that run where every game's a playoff game and then to go to a hostile environment and win that game, that says a lot about this team. And a lot of them dogs are back. And I'm gonna bet that they're gonna show that same resiliency on Sunday night. And they're primetime junkies. I think they enjoy the prime time.
Yeah.
I think they need it. Because I think there's a lot of guys. You can make this argument that, and please debate me on this. How many guys are hungry for a Super Bowl on this football team outside of 11? How many guys on Sunday showed they were pissed off outside of 11? 11 shows me he's hungry for a ring. That's what that showed me, because I saw a lot of frustration and stuff, and he was getting pissed off because they weren't playing good enough. Do you see it? Did you watch it? See other guys getting mad?
No.
I think a lot of guys just rest on what they've won. And I get it. But do you want to be the greatest, or you just want to get one? And I think Carson's a guy who really didn't feel that first one like these other guys have, and he's hungry for another one.
I saw a lot of people coming out and saying on that Carson thing that, it wasn't good that he did that. That's not what a leader does. It was showing weakness. I completely disagree. This city, correct me if I'm wrong, this city got on Donovan because he didn't show the anger. He showed the kind of the smirks. Everyone talks about the smirks. Yep. We ripped Donovan when he was here because
Can't win with these idiots, right?
So then you flip it, and then when you see the emotion, you see the anger, you see the care. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that shows weakness?
Real quick, have you seen Tom Brady play?
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Tom Brady play?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, did that guy not get pissed off when things aren't going or guys aren't doing their jobs? That's what leaders do.
Absolutely. Well, it's like that clickbait article that came out that said, he's not a leader. Because he doesn't call out his players. He doesn't show emotion on the sideline. Now all of a sudden he does it, and it's not the right thing.
That TO team and all through the Donovan years, all them guys called each other out.
Yeah.
Yep. Inside closed doors, and then they would get on a plane and they would laugh. They would laugh with each other. But during games, if guys weren't living up to potential or getting the job done, guys let them know. Listen, 2019 can't get caught up in your head, right? Like, I hate the 2019 thing. We're like, no. Like, this is professional sports.
Yep.
This is a sport where you're paid to take somebody's damn head off, essentially. Mm-hmm. So I want fire. I want emotion. I want a guy going up and down them sidelines saying, let's go. Let's go here. Let's go here. You need that from your quarterback of all positions. And it's one thing if it's coming from him and he's not good enough, then I get it. But he's good enough. He's been good enough. He was good enough when he was hurt last year. He's still good enough. Okay? He threw a touchdown with a torn ACL. He's good enough regardless.
What do you guys think of then on the flip side? You can look at their defensive leader, Malcolm. He's been taking a lot of shots because I like it. I don't hate it. But a lot of people were saying, well, he hasn't played up to par.
Nope.
And I love Malcolm. And I like that he's calling like Sidney out for being soft. I like the message. But Malcolm, I have not seen you be the defensive player of the week or anything by any means.
No, I mean, how about create a turnover one time?
Do something.
You play D-back. You lead by example. You make a play one time.
Don't bite on a patented play action.
I'll say it again. Rodney McLeod to me is more important to me than Malcolm Jenkins is, and I'll continue and continue to say that because he tackles, and not that Malcolm doesn't. Rodney has more speed than Malcolm too, in my opinion. He just looks faster. But no, I mean I love Malcolm, but I'm just saying, like, how about you create a turnover? I don't disagree with you about Sidney.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't disagree with your statement. But now you got to go out in a big game Sunday night, and you got to get it done.
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting guys back that
Yep.
Jeff Lohmeyer, evening gentlemen. What's up, Jeff?
What up, Jeff?
What's up, Jeff?
Eric Jacinto, some Philadelphia fans are hypocrites. Yes, they are, Eric.
Yep.
So sometimes it's the worst fan base in sports, and I love all of you, but some of you are the worst. Like I never crushed on him for them things. I didn't care. I just wanted to win games.
Right.
And he was a pimp. And you can all say, no, he wasn't. Yes, he was. Okay, grow up, Peter Pan, because you would take them years all the time. If you go back and do it again, you would say, where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Even though I'm not winning it all, where do I sign up to every year know that I'm contending for an NFC title game and Super Bowl? Would you sign up for that every year?
Oh, I absolutely would.
Even as a non-Andy guy, I still would.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not gonna. We're so critical. We just want to always be critical, guys. Like there's so many other guys on this football team that aren't getting the job done that you can be critical of. You know, not that we're talking this Carson thing, because I don't even want to talk about that. But Anthony Hayes, if the Eagles lose to Dallas, Schwartz is going and other coaches. I don't know. No.
I would go to Groh first than Schwartz. And Schwartz hasn't been great, but Mike Groh, listen, I know D-Jax is not healthy. There's some pieces that on the offense that have been hurt. The entire Mike Groh thing is dated back to the second he came here. We talked about the lack of creativity. Guys like Alshon who, listen, there's some things in his own right that haven't been good. Like he needs to learn how to catch the football again. And I'm not talking about that playoff game last year. It's becoming a trend to where Alshon is going to drop a couple passes every game. But these certain players either aren't able to get on the field and be involved, or they've dropped off. And listen, I'm not trying to turn it into just one guy, but it's a trend now. Everything is Mike Groh. Since Mike Groh has been here, the fast starts are now slow starts. Friggin' crawling starts. Certain players that were playing up are now, they suck. You got to tell me that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, I get he's a rookie, but you can't get him on the field? Because the only way you're going to get him on the field is if something happened to Alshon? Why are we drafting backup players?
I'm going to piggyback. I'm not saying Mike Groh's right or wrong with that. I'm just going to say the guy who's bringing you the talent isn't good enough evaluating goddamn talent.
That's true.
You understand this? Okay? That's the end-all, be-all. This is why I'm pissed off about the Ramsey thing when we're going to talk about it in a little bit. This is why I'm still heated, and I'm going to be heated because you don't draft well anyway. Okay? You've had one Pro Bowler and 39 picks. 1 in 39 picks. 1 in 39 picks. And we're all out there going, I can't give up 2 firsts. Oh, my God. We're giving away the future. The future of what? The future's right now. The future's a 24-year-old star. That's the future. Okay? So learn what the damn future is before you start talking about a future that doesn't exist because then players are what? They're unpredictable. They're unpredictable. You don't know who they are.
No. They're coupons. They're coupons for a possible good player that we never, ever, ever use. Ever.
Just got to get going there for a sec.
No, I understand it.
Sometimes he's not happy. I'm not happy because he hasn't drafted well. So if you talk about getting JJ on the field, I get it, but maybe he's not good enough.
I'm right there with
you. And then
you.
also learn the West Coast offense as a rookie wide receiver is a lot. So I got to factor that into a little bit of the growing pains of just like, first off, you got to know what you're doing to be confident in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I'm not comfortable in the route I'm running or the play call or whatever, now I'm thinking instead of just going to play ball. So that learning curve takes a minute for some guys. So I'm not going, he's a bust, he's this, that, and the third yet. It's an unknown still. It's an unknown. But I said it. I've been saying it for weeks when we've been arguing about all this stuff. Where are the star players drafted in this organization? I'll tell you. You know where they all are? They're free agents. Outside of Carson Wentz, they're free agents. We won in 2017 because of free agents and trades, not because of a draft. This is what people are missing. The teams that are winning are going out and signing free agents. You tell me, please. I'm going to get fired up again. Tell me the team that right now has won Super Bowls through the draft, and I'm going to sit here and wait. I'm going to sit up. You tell me the fucking teams that have won Super Bowls by building this through the draft.
Patriots for the most part.
What?
Patriots for the most part.
What?
No.
Whole offensive line. Most of their offensive line.
They go out and spend the money.
No, they supplement it,
And
but
they
a
trade
lot.
out of the first round.
They're not the best
Finally.
drafters in the
I'm not
in
saying they're
drafters.
the best drafters.
I'm telling you the team that just built through the draft, great.
Oh,
tell me that
there's
team.
no one because everyone supplements, but the New England Patriots build through the draft. They work the draft board and they get
Everybody
guys.
tries to. They do
it the best though.
But when they need somebody, they go out and they spend the money. My point is, when you have a player that can fill a void, you go out and he's a great player. You go out and fill the void.
Sure.
And you don't worry about picks. All I'm saying is that the teams that win are teams that are willing to say, you know what, I might have to mortgage some stuff, but this player's a great player. Yeah. And they're the teams that are going to win.
Greg,
the Rams, all they did was free agent signings last year. So it was. They went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
They were the most aggressive team of that offseason.
Yeah.
So I love the people who are like, you can't mortgage stuff. The time to win's now. When's the time to win for you?
And people act like Jalen Ramsey's 30 years old. It
24.
solves the problem now,
24.
and it also guarantees you have 7 to 8 years of a position you couldn't fill for like 10 years.
Listen,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can't draft the position well. Like Wilson, I see you watching. You're an issue. Okay, everybody that's scared to give up the damn picks is a problem to me. one Pro Bowler out of 39 picks. 39. I guarantee you, if I got hired, I'm going 5. Can you guarantee I walk into 5 because I'm a great name guy. If the name sounds good, he's going to be a Pro Bowler, okay? But at the end of the day, the people are like, oh, my future. If he's 30, like Rye said, then I don't do it. But when he's 24 and he's the best player in his position, now I can build my defense around the star. Stars win in sports. And for all you that were scared, the Rams just came in and bent you over, okay? I was going to bend the computer over, but you got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Here's the other thing, too. And I'm not speaking for all of us. I'm just speaking for me. And I know people will say, oh, you're reckless. You don't understand. I don't give a damn about the future. Say, for example, if we were in some fantasy world to where the Jalen Ramsey thing would truly alter our future. It would put it in jeopardy, even if that was a real thing, which it's not. I don't give a damn about the future. You know why? Because we've had to deal in this city, not just the Eagles, with the freaking process, with the Phillies not making the playoffs for 8 years, about building through stuff. You understand? The Flyers doing what the hell? They've been preaching future for the other 3 teams. You understand? And what has that gotten us? We're 3 years away. Or are we 3 years away from being 3 years away? You know, I don't care. I'm done with the future stuff.
No,
I'm done with it.
This smells like the Phillies to me. You know what I mean? This is like the Phillies. Like what? Like pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Sometimes you got to be aggressive and pull the trigger.
Well, it's obvious that he just didn't want to be here.
Well,
Who?
Jalen.
How do you know that?
Why is that?
Because he wasn't, for the longest time, he wasn't being traded, and then they come in and swoop in, and he wants to be in
No,
LA.
it's because it came out today. The Eagles were not willing to give up 2 firsts.
Okay.
That's it. It has nothing to do with it. No, Ramsey wanted out.
Well, no, I know Ramsey wanted out, but it's like if he wanted out and wanted to be here, you think he would have made it happen.
What are you talking? It's Shad Khan's party. He's been trying to make it. He's been faking injuries. What are you talking about? He's been faking injuries.
What did they look for? He didn't want to be here.
How do you know? Are you?
This
This is
is
the Harper thing
you
again.
You are a freaking problem. You just make shit up and
What
throw
are you
it. You just threw
talking
shit
about?
out. You just said, hey, let me see if this shit sticks, and it didn't.
But it did.
Because
He's not here, though, is
what
he?
does that mean? He didn't want to be here. You think
He
he's going
doesn't
all the
sign
shots?
the papers?
Now he's going all the shots. He's making a deal. He's like, listen, okay, you want to give me 2 firsts and a 4th? I like
Well, no,
to
but
see that.
if
That's not how it works, Craig.
If the Eagles are calling every week and they're like, oh,
not a
we're
free
calling
agent,
every
Craig.
week, we're calling every week. I know he's not talking to him.
Not a free agent,
Thank
Craig.
you. I know this.
He's not a free agent.
But you think he's like, oh, I'd like to go to Philly. You know, make it happen.
What does that
He's
matter?
setting up an interview. Where did he say
Yeah,
that?
I just-
He was blowing Carson in the offseason, talking about how good he is, talking about how good him and Deshaun Watson is.
Eric Jacinto says winning a championship is about taking risks.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
He
you.
took a risk on Jay Ajayi. Everybody said he was a problem, a crumb, this, that, and the third. Really helped to get to where you were.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, we'll dive into that in a few, but we want to get it, obviously, you know, we want to talk some more Eagles-Cowboys in this gigantic matchup. And like you said, if there's no Amari, my confidence level is sky high.
Here's my biggest concern, okay? And Tom, you're right when you were talking earlier about, okay, we don't have to worry about like the Sidney Jones, the Rasul Douglas. We have Mills back. We might possibly have Ronald Darby back. It's a huge concern for me, and to the fam, anyone in here, my question is it concerning to you? Because I think we all are like, we're not Jalen Mills guys, but we're not a hater. None of us here are haters of Jalen Mills. We understand he's really good in spots, and he's not. But is it concerning at all for you that we're kind of focused in and almost depending on a guy who hasn't played for a year?
No, I said it on Sunday. I mean, we're going to throw all our eggs in the basket of a guy who hasn't played in a year and a guy who's coming off an ACL injury in Ronald Darby as well. So we're putting all our eggs and confidence in these guys being ready to go for the rest of this year. Now, if they are ready to go, I'll be confident because I know what they both do really well is they both shut you down in the red zone. Mm-hmm. Their strengths are in the red zone, right? Mm-hmm. Which means we're going to give up yards and we're going to do the things we do, but when we get down there, them guys buckle down.
Yep.
So am I more confident with them two coming back? Big time. Because it's like, seriously, it's like getting Deion Sanders and Ramsey back and Ramsey compared to what you had back there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you think about it, what we had back there is slop.
Yeah, no, the worry for me, too, not only that, is when we activated Mills.
Don't do this.
When you activated Mills, you allowed yourself 3 weeks to determine if he's ready or not. And now we're accelerating that to 3 days, essentially, of practice.
I don't know, because I think this was the
Because
first week where he was eligible to come back, though. He was to be activated.
I understand, but you activate him, and then you have 21 days where you can evaluate whether you're putting him on the active roster or whether he's going back to IR.
Well, if he's coming back, they probably made that decision quick.
And unfortunately, I agree. I
What I'm
understand what you're
saying
saying.
is now a guy who hasn't played in a year with a foot injury, you're now looking to get that evaluation done in 3 days so he can play on Sunday.
Yeah, well, he said he's planning on playing the whole game.
I
so.
understand. I know what he said.
I'm just telling you both sides. That's all. Relax. You're getting all upset. All right. There's no reason to say he can't come back and play.
I'm not saying he can't, but
I'm
we're just accelerating because all other guys are poo.
I understand, but who said we're accelerating? It's been a year, Greg. Where's the acceleration?
He can't practice. He hasn't practiced in a year.
But he just got cleared to practice. You think he
He just
isn't working
practiced
out,
today.
though?
He practiced the last 2 days.
But my point is, you think he's not working out on his own? and
Yeah.
doing
No, I
things?
understand he's working out, but working out and practice, we know are a lot different
I
things.
understand that, but the foot's obviously good enough. He just had to
Sure.
wait for a certain date.
But I'm saying you have 3 weeks to make that evaluation where a regular team who has not the injury history that we have allows themselves to make sure that he's 100%.
Well, let me ask you this: would you rather have them not play him? And so
That's
they can,
my point.
Okay, well, here's the thing: they have to play him because everyone else sucks.
That's exactly my point.
Okay, so we agree.
If he's not healthy, he's not going to go out there.
No.
But I think he's pushing himself, whether he is or not.
If this is the day he can come back, then what's the problem with you? What agenda are you coming with?
I'm not coming with an agenda. I'm coming in with you have an ability, you have an amount of time to make an evaluation on a key player that you want to get back. And now we're rushing that evaluation.
Greg,
Nobody's
to push
saying
him
you have to
back.
kill the
Greg, the
entire
evaluation's
21.
been going on inside the facility.
He hasn't practiced.
But the evaluation's still been happening.
All right,
There's still
whatever.
been an evaluation process.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's still been physicals done on it. There's still
Yeah.
been tests done
Oh,
on
yeah.
it. There hasn't been?
No, I'm not saying there hasn't
Ooh.
been. I'm saying, I'm
Tread lightly.
I'm agreeing with you.
Tread lightly.
I'm treading.
I know people inside.
That's fine.
I know a doctor who went here.
Yeah.
All right, so don't start telling me.
Here's the other thing too: just because you have 21 days, you don't have to use all of them.
Thanks, Rye. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm here to help you.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do now.
I don't know a lot, apparently.
You sound very upset.
No, I'm not upset.
You sound very upset.
Yeah, listen, I get it that you don't want to believe. You don't want to believe he can come back and play well. I understand that, but what says he can't?
Why do I believe he can't play well?
Well, you feel like he's
The
still hurt.
four of us could play better than the
You
jabrones
just
we had
feel
back
like he's
there.
still hurt, though.
I just want to make sure.
Well, obviously they made sure.
Fine, then play him.
Have they not made? If this is not a made sure thing over a year, this isn't a made sure thing.
I don't know.
I can't. Then what is for you? What is? A month?
We're
he
just-
gets a month of practice
we're
time.
just trying to
and
figure
Greg's
out what
like,
the-
oh, they know it.
We're just trying to figure out what the underlining issue is.
We're rushing a guy. We potentially are rushing a guy back because we stink.
What did Wilson say? Guys can get work in on their own, Greg. Just like
You're
I said.
absolutely right.
Just like I said, they know if he's ready to come back. Who's reading fucking YouTube? You?
No,
Oh, okay.
because I don't know anything. I don't do anything.
we're lashing out. Oh, we're
now.
lashing out.
I have
Oh
him
my
right
God!
here. I have him right
Now, oh, woe is me.
Thomas, you said we're being live at 9:45. NX 750 Gavin said, getting like Nelson, always dropping the ball. Because you said we were running a little late.
Oh, I run late. I
Yeah.
do it on purpose. I'm here.
Roscoe with his Rams. Bryce Blackwell. Tom, we are here. We should have gotten Ramsey. We haven't drafted well since 2009.
Yep.
2010 from now, it's been a poor. It's got to change. 2020 class is loaded.
No, I'm sure it is.
TTP checks
So
in.
was 19, 18,
I can't
17,
wait.
16.
Eagles champ. Who do we get? Wide receiver. Deshaun isn't going to be playing. I don't know that they're going to go out and get anybody.
Don't hold your
Not
breath.
Yeah.
He wants OBJ or Devontae Parker. He wants someone like Tyreek Hill for Carson Wentz to look like Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, well.
love a little joy.
He also agrees that
kick.
we are going to clap the Cowboys' cheeks.
God. Bend over.
TTP says the Seahawks the only team you can think of: Ross Baldwin, Sherm, Cam, Wagner, Earl. When you're talking about building through the draft,
And they're an organization.
he said,
that,
but it's incredibly rare to see something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
and that's an organization that drastically underachieved when you talk about their window to win.
Right.
Team that should have won arguably 3 Super Bowls, won 1.
Bill, bro, grow up, Bill. He shouldn't be playing yet. He had 21 days for practice, and they're throwing him out there too quick because we have nobody. Would you guys knock it the hell off? He's been out for a year. Like we want another month. Another month is going to determine it. Another month makes you two sit at home and you can relax and put your damn fucking feet up. What are you talking about?
My feet are up.
What are you
regardless
two
whether they're good or
talking
not.
about? My God.
Same people were saying the same thing about Brandon Brooks.
If he's ready, he's ready. What do you got to wait for? The 21 days is just there. It's there. It's built in.
Lindell, FDW. Tommy, we need those picks. We don't need the team to be crippled in
No,
the future.
you need the damn picks. You need the damn picks for Madden. I don't need the damn picks for real life shit because my real life GM ain't me in Madden. Okay? He struggles. What do you guys miss? How many times do I got to say it? One Pro Bowler in 39 picks. Repeat it with me, family.
Who was it?
I don't even know, nor do I care.
I'm just curious. Because I don't know either.
It's probably Carson.
I don't think he went to one.
Well, no, he was eligible for one, but he was hurt.
Because
It was 2017.
Fletch and Lane would have been chips.
Yeah, I think it's Carson because he
39
was a
picks.
Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowl guy the year he was the MVP candidate, but he was hurt.
Bill, they cleared him to practice now, Bill. Why did they have to clear practice? What did last month have to do with right now? I don't understand. Oh, my God.
They weren't allowed to clear him last month, Bill. He was on the friggin' list. You had to wait until week 6.
Will says he wants to agree with you, Greg, but they're not going to put him out there if he's not ready. Preach it, Wills. Why do you want to agree with him? Because you don't want to agree with me?
Because I'm right.
You're not right.
Bob Mooney, 49ers, the D-line built through the draft except for D Ford.
Yeah, they went out and paid Jimmy Garoppolo. So,
They
hold my
traded.
beer.
NX 750 Gaming. Maybe Coughlin had a grudge against the Eagles, chose Pederson over him during the coaching search.
Also traded for Sherman, too.
Yep.
I'm here.
Lindell, if Jalen Mills is the answer, what's the question? Can't wait for Jalen to get beat with his first double move of the year.
Excuse me?
Would you rather a double move or a guy just going right by a guy?
Sydney.
Time's yours. Result.
Lindell,
Oh, that too.
we dodged the bullet.
Options.
He must be a Howie guy.
Who is this?
Lindell.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Howie guy. We don't need Ramsey and Howie we trust.
No, we don't.
No. That
Sign
ship
A.
has sailed.
Well, here we go. Now he's back. Sign AB. AB would take us to the next level.
Oh, my
so now
God.
I don't.
So we don't need Ramsey,
we
but
We don't need Ramsey, but we need
want
AB.
Oh,
No.
Like I let the once Ramsey didn't get here right away, I let that in my mind go that it wasn't happening. But I'm not saying we didn't need him.
Well, how can we fire Shorts, Kyle Cap, if, one, we don't have a replacement? That's what bad organizations do. And, two, the talent on the field isn't out there.
The guy who should be fired is Corey Undlin, who's the only guy he is the secondary coach, who's the only guy out of 2 people who survived from the Chip Kelly era.
Yeah, Corey's been here forever.
Yes.
No, yep, I know that. John McFadden, leave Greg alone and move on to the next topic. I did not leave Greg alone. I responded with the right remarks.
Couldn't even get it out because he was so wrong.
Tristan says all fired up. Loves it.
TTP, no offense, but I have no idea what Greg's point is. That's
Me
fine.
either.
No.
It's been going on like
We were
this
trying
for
to
a
help
while.
him, too. He thinks we were going after him. We were just trying to, get him to translate. That's all.
I translated it.
Lindell, trade Wentz if he fails to make the playoffs.
Lindell, come on, Lindell.
Lindell. I mean,
What are we drinking tonight, Lindell?
grow up. Let's grow
Everything?
up. Yep, the whole cabinet. Whole cabinet's out tonight.
I don't even know what that means.
Bill, I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to read it. And if I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, I take it as disrespect. Brian Wilson, bend but don't break. That's what we're used to. It is. He's spot on. And these two guys are critical for your defense in the red zone.
Yeah.
Jalen's been burned on double moves, but never from the freaking 5-yard line. That Sidney Jones, I've never seen that happen, especially when the back of the end zone's your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The back of the end is another defender over top, essentially.
You only have so much you could cover because you're right. You have that back end zone.
Okay, Bill. So he said in the press conference today he wanted to live in L.A. So now we believe his whole life. So now we believe everything everybody says. So now, what do you think? Oh, my, I can't.
When Harper said he wanted to live in Philly, everyone in the city said, "Oh, he's lying.
Yeah.
He's lying."
Yeah.
So we're going to believe Ramsey, who everyone hates.
Yeah.
But when Harper says he's coming here, he didn't really want to be here.
He had no choice where he was going. No choice. And he got there and said, hey, this is where I wanted to be.
Bill, I promise you, if he came here or if he went to freaking Kansas City or went to Baltimore, he'd say the exact same thing. You know why? Because his goal was to get out of Jacksonville. That's it. It was translation of, I wanted to live in L.A. You know why? Because L.A. is not Jacksonville.
This is a sad one. Off topic, John McFadden says, you moving on from Jason Peters at the end of the year? Absolutely we are.
Yep.
And it's sad 'cause that's a Hall of Fame guy.
End of the year,
and,
absolutely.
And guess how that guy was acquired back in the Andy days? Anybody know? That
was a trade.
That was a trade.
It was one of the best trades probably ever.
Yep.
in Eagles history.
So sometimes you got to go out and be aggressive. And I felt like we were semi-aggressive this offseason, but nothing to write home about. We really relied on guys coming back because the problem with Howie is he falls in love with guys. And he falls in love with his own guys a little too much sometimes.
They re-signed a lot of people. Like the Brandon Graham thing, a lot of people point to, like, how do we give him all that money when we have to assume that he's going to fall off eventually? And I know we're only 6 weeks in, ladies and gentlemen, but still, has Brandon Graham been phenomenal? Has he lived up to that contract so far? No, hasn't been even close.
First, fourth, and a sixth in a following draft for Jason Peters.
Wow.
3 picks.
Yep, and that was at the beginning of Andy.
2009.
And listen, this is not only a big week now that Andre Dillard's going to be starting. It's not only a big week for him and the next handful of weeks. Again, it's big for Howie. It's huge because this is a guy, another first-round pick that we also traded up to get. This is huge for him. This is huge because if he goes out and he sucks the first 3 weeks, and I get it, he's a rookie. We're not going to see the top potential for years. But this is a guy who they said that they loved. It was a Howie pick, another one that they traded up to get, gave over other assets. We jump teams. If he comes out and sucks, that's another one on the list where we say, okay, Howie, that's a first-round pick that Howie was not willing to give up for a guy who we know can play.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, first-round picks, I don't care what position you are. If you're a first-round pick, you should be on the field playing.
Yes.
And the only thing blocking in was Jason Peters. So now you're getting your chance to start a game, prepare all week like the starter, which matters, and go get it because the line you're going up against gets after the damn quarterback. I'll tell you that much. And Will says because he was on the pup, this is the week he comes back.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
He couldn't come back anytime sooner.
Right.
Now we're moving on from Alshon to Lindell, so we're just getting rid of the whole damn team. Okay.
Can't move on from him. He was extended.
No, John McFadden, this whole D-line hasn't lived up to the money given to them, in my opinion, except for the Jets game. They need to start getting to the quarterback. You're not wrong, brother.
And that helps the cornerbacks. That helps the secondary.
Absolutely.
Because everyone now points to, and I understand it, like going to like we were talking about, we have Ronald Darby and Mills coming back, two guys who were your starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying you guys do this, but people, especially like they say, oh, well, we don't need Ramsey because those two were the starters in the Super Bowl. But they think that's like a good thing, but they ignore like all the yards that they gave up, the fact that our defense was invisible. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know what we had in 2017 that we don't have now? Oh, a defensive line that can actually get to the quarterback. We don't have that now. So that's going to make the secondary that much worse. And also, those guys were healthy then. They're not healthy now. So it's like we people like these no Jalen Ramsey people or these no trade people. It's like they pick a piece of the argument, but they ignore 95% of the other parts of it. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and what's killing us, too, is obviously like the Malik Jackson going down, Timmy Jernigan going down. That's really hurt this defensive line. They're big-time assets for this football team, so that hurts them. So I'll give a little pass there, but when Timmy gets back, I need this line to start playing better.
Yeah,
overall.
I think
really
it will because we saw last year when he came back, it was immediate. And I think Timmy Jernigan, and listen, the guy can't stay healthy. People like are saying like, oh, that trade was not very good. Listen, we traded for him the year we won the Super Bowl. He was very good. I think he is one of the most underrated players in that entire defense. Because for some reason, I don't know if it's because he takes some pressure off of Fletcher, which then takes pressure off of the ends, whatever it is. But when Jernigan's there, they play like a different team, a different unit. And when they're not, it's like they go from a top 5 defensive line to like 25th, just from one player. And it's weird because we talk all about Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, the guys that are getting the bigger money. I'm not trying to say that Timmy Jernigan's more important than those two. But I think he's way more important than people give him credit for.
No,
we've seen that in the wrong ways.
You need somebody to play alongside when you have a D tackle like Fletcher because that guy's going to get a lot of one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. And the thing Timmy does well is get after the quarterback well, and that's so important. In the NFL, you got to create pressure up the middle.
Sure,
that's where it all starts. So if it's only you have Fletch and he's getting double, triple teamed, then the other guy can't get home on one-on-one, then you're not going to create any pressure. But the one thing about Timmy is he creates it. Malik Jackson, that's a killer too because he's another guy who gets after the quarterback. So you're losing a projected. You lost about, in my opinion, at least 12 sacks between the two of them. So you're like off the table for the year. I mean, we want to give them each 6. You know what I'm saying? You lost big time contributions
Yeah.
that hopefully you can get back when Timmy comes back. So, well, I mean, we'll see.
And they're desperately missing. It sounds weird, but I mean, it shows that they miss Michael Bennett and Chris Long. Shows that.
Yeah, but they don't miss Michael Bennett because he's an
Yeah, I
issue.
mean, it's one of these guys of if the Patriots can't handle him, who can?
No,
and I get it. He's mouthing off for playing time, but you know better than
he did
that.
the same shit here, and the only reason he got playing time was because Barnett went down.
Everyone else was hurt.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got playing time if
No.
Barnett never went down. And that's another guy I need to get after the quarterback. But it all starts up the middle. Now we got to see if Nigel's going to play this week. You know, that's huge. I mean, getting rid of Zach Brown, which I'm good with. You know what I mean? You know, what's the reason that he was in the first year of a 3-year, $25 million deal with the Redskins? They let him go, and the most he get was 1 year, $2.5 million.
Yeah,
it's red flags.
And they were close to cutting him in preseason too.
Yeah, it's red flags. So I think the only reason they did it was because
Everyone,
Camus. That's
Right.
the only reason. So I mean, Camus I like, and Nigel I like, but Nigel's been on a little bit of a milk carton as well. So the milk cartons have gone around defensively.
It's weird. It's like we used to see it when Hicks was here. When Hicks would be out, which would be like every other week, Bradham would play awesome because it's just him. It's so weird. Like you would think Bradham would play better with the both of them.
right.
We've seen in the past, it's almost like the same thing. When we'll see it now. Maybe that's the same thing with Zach Brown. Maybe Bradham needs to be on a freaking island. But I don't know how they structure it, but it's so weird to me. Like in spots where the linebacking core has more depth and more pressure should be off of Bradham doesn't play well. But when it's only Bradham and just a bunch of scraps, he's awesome. And I'm not expecting him to play well because we don't even know if he's going to play, period. Because apparently he was limping all over the locker room today.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't good.
But listen, I mean, he's another guy who we paid a couple years ago. We extended. He was actually, it's weird, because that was the offseason right after we won the Super Bowl. He was like our big money re-signing. It was either him or Patrick Robinson.
Yeah. No, I love Nigel.
Yeah,
but,
so do I.
Camus going to get a big opportunity this Sunday.
Probably the rookie.
And I like it. What'd you say?
And probably the rookie, T.J. Edwards.
Yeah, but it's going to be a big time.
Camus and Gary, yeah. But
Yeah.
he's your third.
But Camus can make plays.
Yeah.
So I'm good with Camus. I mean, I think he knows the defense better than Gary does too, probably. A little bit more. So
They brought up that Alex Singleton, too, so where people were saying, oh, he's going to get some playing time. Who the hell was that? Like these linebackers.
but Bill said, I don't know. I mean, I think you can get Harris for a 2 and a 4. You know, I think you can get Patrick. I don't even know if you're going to get Patrick Peterson, but you could probably go like a 3 and a 5 for Patrick. He's older, but I think a 2 and a 4 gets you done for Chris Harris.
I was trying to say to Bill, because Bill, and I understand, like I would want both of them. I said, you got to understand how hard it is, especially now that Howie set the precedent to where he can't get the big name. He can't get one. And he's also showed the entire league that they're not willing to give up firsts. I said, especially when you have a deadline. It's not the offseason where you have 5 months. I said, it's incredibly difficult to do a deal when both teams are now winning. Denver, they think that they can win the freaking division now, especially if they win tomorrow, to where now it's not like 3 weeks ago where they didn't have a win, to where they're not selling, they're buying.
Yep.
So that means everyone on that team, their price is going up. And then 2, I'm not saying the Cardinals are winning, but again, they have momentum. And we've been down this road the last 2 years with Patrick Peterson. He's in 2017, the Super Bowl year, he was a rumor. Oh, these two were contacted. A week later, no interest in trading him. Last year, oh, there's interest, no interest in trading him. You understand? I think it's incredibly difficult to do a deal, not only with one team, but 2 for the same position in a certain amount of time when you've set the precedent that you're only willing to give up so much.
And if you're hesitant to give up 3 picks or 2 picks, whatever, first 2 firsts or whatever, for Jalen Ramsey, why would you end up giving up 4 picks for 2 players?
And Bill, I'm sure if he hasn't already said it, he says, "Oh, well, you're giving up. It's for 2 players, not 1. So you're doubling the." But again, it's harder. It's easier
but
said than
both
done.
Are older and
Exactly.
Let me change this topic for 1
Yeah.
second, but not really. Kakao says a new quote from an unnamed Eagles player. We dropped the ball. I don't even want to talk about that shit. Everybody knew what it was going to take to get him. I could have told you that. And then so an unnamed talking about what it would take to get Jalen. And not happy about that they didn't get him. And Kyle thinks it's either
Malcolm.
Malcolm or Alshon.
I think it's
So.
Malcolm.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Because he's not wrong.
No, not at all.
And Wilson's with me. Patrick Peterson we can get for a 4th-round pick. He's been suspended all year, and the Cards seem to be done with him. Yeah, so, I mean.
I'll take
maybe
him.
even a 3rd. I mean, shit. It's not going to hurt us.
No.
It's not going to hurt us at all, Wills. Josh Simonetti. I don't see us making any moves for any picks. We have the feeling we're trying to stockpile our picks, which is why we didn't go nuts for Ramsey. Josh, we have like 13 picks this year. Like we couldn't give some up. Like you have 13. And we 13. Do you need 13? I love you, brother, but do you need 13? Like 3 of them picks, 3 picks in 2 years was really going to crush your picks. You couldn't then say, I got all these picks. I can't trade back up into the first with all these
that's
picks.
what he loves doing.
Like what am I missing? What am I missing? What happened here is we all put a skirt on and got scared. This is what happened. We were putting lipstick and makeup on and petting her damn kitten is what was happening here. Scared to death.
Agreed.
Wills, Josh, 2 guys I love. Freaking kitten talk. Just purring together. Disgusting. Shut up, Jesse. All right? Because I know you. You'll be gone. As soon as when we win this game on Sunday, you'll be nowhere to be found. But if you win, you'll come out like the roach you are.
Kyle Cap says, seriously, we need to freaking stop re-signing these scrubs like Darby and Mills because they do nothing but stay on the IR. Well, I mean, they didn't. First off, they didn't re-sign Mills. Mills has been here. We drafted Mills.
And that's according to Justina Anderson, too, that quote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's not just thrown around
That's a blue check mark.
Yeah, Eagles player to me on Jalen Ramsey going to the Rams. We dropped the ball. I don't even want to talk about that shit. Everybody knew what it was going to take to get him. I could have told you that. Wow.
I think that's Malcolm.
Wow.
Especially he's been on a chirping tour the last 3 days.
Yeah,
he's been saying a lot.
Yeah, he might have too
But
many
going back to
he might have
Darby,
been hit
right?
in the head too many times.
Which also makes it,
But I like that comment.
also in a reporter sense too, it would make sense that they would go to him as like a quote
absolutely.
because he has the reputation the last couple weeks or last couple of days of talking a lot.
Could have been Darby. Could have been Darby, too, because Darby played with him.
True.
They're boys.
That's very true.
They're boys. Nobody's talking about that. Jernigan played with him, too.
We just know it's not Carson.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Did Jernigan play with him, too?
I think Jernigan went to
Well, no,
Florida.
yeah, they were all Florida State.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. They're the
Yeah,
guys.
they're
that
all
FSU
Florida
guys.
State.
I know
Yeah,
Darby definitely played with him. Because Darby's young.
Derek Barnett, too,
Well, that's
in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, in
In
high
high
school.
school.
Yeah.
In high school. So, listen, it could have been a lot of different kittens pairing in that locker room.
But
Group chat.
we were talking about Darby, right?
Oh, it's
And if you
phenomenal.
take out the beginning of this year, when obviously he was still hurt,
Yeah.
right? Take that out and throw that out. This is a guy who made back-to-back top 25 players under 25
Darby?
2 years in a row. And then, we talk about how, he's not this great. Well, I'm not saying he's the best, you know what I'm saying? But he obviously has talent and has shown the ability to play at a high level during his career.
Yeah, he has a
Take out the beginning of this year where he was obviously hurt and still coming back from his ACL. And, we're not getting back.
Ronald Darby can play.
That's what I'm saying.
Ronald Darby can play.
Ronald Darby can
When
play.
Ronald Darby's healthy, Ronald Darby can play. This year's almost a chalk-up year. It's hard, dude, off the ACL. We know what it is. But Ronald Darby can play, so don't mistake him. Ronald Darby's still young. So it's not like he's like 30 years old or something. Darby and Mills are still young. And both fit what Jim Schwartz wants. They both fit it. So I won a Super Bowl with these guys because they're bend, not break. You get in the red zone, we shut you down, we hold you to 3. They're the kings of it.
And it just showed, to your point with the injury, that he relies on his speed. If he doesn't have speed, he doesn't have physicality, and he's not really a ball hawk.
Who, Mills?
No, Darby.
Well, Darby's got the speed.
But off of the injury, he doesn't.
No,
Which
right
just
now,
showed-
yeah,
which just showed how much. I mean,
Right
he
now,
hasn't had a
Which
pulse.
shows how much he
Yes.
uses that.
No, you're right.
Which again,
that explosion's so important right now.
which is
you
why
know?
I'm concerned about Mills, because I mean Mills has a little bit better. I mean,
I'd rather deal with the foot. I think the foot's a way better. And nothing. I don't know how the foot, the whole situation was.
Nobody knows.
But the foot's a way better situation than coming back off an ACL. Because the ACL, you lose your explosion.
and he's got the hamstring now too. Darby.
Yeah, so it's just, you know what I mean? So you don't have, you just lose it for a year.
Isn't that frightening? Isn't that
Unless
that's
you're
kinda-
Adrian Peterson.
That's horrifying too. Like that injury with Mills, it was originally a day-to-day,
Right.
and then he showed up in a walking boot one week. To this day, we do not know anybody what that injury really was. Like, how bad is that? An injury that was originally classified as a day-to-day minor injury He's out for a year, and they still have not released the diagnosis. I mean, that's horrible.
I mean, this is like the Secret Service in there.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, this is you don't find that. It's like the CIA. You don't get no info from inside there when it comes to injuries. You know, and just feel like we've been banged up a lot more than other teams around the NFL. And we even changed medical staffs and came in this year and got decimated in certain positions, which is really odd. You know, you see a team banged up throughout it, like we were a Super Bowl year. We had injuries all over, right? But we didn't have it in one position. What happened over the last 2 years, essentially, is we've had injuries in one position or one positional grouping. You know, so our defensive backfield has been getting crushed with injuries over the last 2 years. That's the concerning part. Like, I understand. I'd rather have them injuries spread out throughout the team than in one spot because I don't care how much depth you think you have. You don't have that kind. When you're talking about practice squad corners and shit like that, you don't have that kind of depth.
I've heard Ray Dininger in the past talk, and over the last handful of months, because it's been, unfortunately, it's been affecting us, to where he thinks the overwhelming kind of burst of injuries has a lot, and it's mostly us, but it's happening a lot throughout the NFL, to where especially the first 3 weeks, everyone's just dropping. They think, or he thinks it has a lot to do with people not playing in the preseason. And I know I'm not a playing in the preseason guy. We had that all of August, so I'm not trying to get back to that. But it's the whole thing, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to where you have kind of walkthroughs all summer, and then you're going from a game speed of 0 to 100. And then you add in the physicality, and then you talk about, the ankle, you talk about the knee, to where he thinks it's a lot. It's not gradual anymore, to where you're going walkthroughs, you're going training camp.
These guys work out so hard on their own, and I know it's not the same as the physicality part, but the movements are the same.
But even go to training camp, there's no more two-a-days. There's very less hitting. You know what I mean?
I understand the hitting part injuring you. But that wouldn't explain like the ACL tears,
right? But I'm saying it
simulates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
at least
like
simulates game situations, game speed type of stuff.
But these guys do when they work out though. That's the thing that I think. Not like the exact, but these guys when they're running routes on their own and they're doing things on their own, they're doing it hard. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they're
not.
So
all I'm saying is like I understand. I'll agree with Ray on the physicality side of it. Because maybe you need a couple hits just to get your body right. I don't know. But if them same hits came in the preseason, wouldn't you just get just as hurt? So if you play in them preseason games, what's the difference? Like now you're taking the hits. Now it's still game speed.
Yeah, no, that I agree. That's why I'm never a preseason guy.
Yeah, so I don't understand. Like I don't think it's that. I think some guys just work out too hard. I think there's something to be said about that. I think there's something to be said about your joints being wound up too tight. You know what I mean? Just from overwork.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys just work their tail off, and this is some of the results. But I don't know. I'm not a goddamn doctor. I don't know what the problem is, but that could be it.
Maybe go back to the smoothies.
Yeah, I mean.
The 9 a.m. curfew and the
rest.
Yep, chipped it, yep.
The injuries were the least of our issues back then. It's like I don't even remember talking about injuries.
I love the bedtime. Like, I'm going to have everybody in by 10. Everybody, lights out at 10. Oh, yeah, I know you own your own house. I'm just going to come by and check.
It's like even Sam Bradford was able to stay healthy for like 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that was the least of our concerns.
So, listen, we got a lot to talk about still. And on the other side, we'll get to, obviously, some more Eagles keys to victory, but we'll give our score predictions, offense, defense, player of the game. Listen, a chance for you winning $50 from us to you. We'll give you $50. All you got to do, player of the game, offense, defense, and score prediction. You want money? It's on you. Eagles miss on Ramsey. We sort of talked about that. I don't want to talk about Jalen Ramsey anymore. What I want to do on the other side is get some other options. And then I want to get into some Sixers talk before we wrap up the show. This is Tom and Greg, AM and the PM, only on A2D Radio, and we are brought to you by ATSSportPicks.com. ATSSportPicks.com. Use promo code A2D. Get 20% off. That's ATSSportPick.com.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes. Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
He's quick with it. Tom, Greg, AM and the PM, only on A2D Radio. We are live in the Real Talk studios, like we are every Wednesday, in a new show, essentially. You know, Mike taking a hiatus, so me and Greg going to hold it down on Wednesdays, and we're going to bring in guests from A2D and maybe some outside A2D, obviously, to sit in the chairs with us. And the first one, why not bring in the guy right before who we spent time with. You know, we might know him a little bit. And we went outside the box and brought in Uncle Reliable himself and Ralphie D on the ones and twos. So a little different vibe tonight, but a good
He
one.
wants to put the Lakers on TV.
Well, I let him do it.
Greg, do you mind turning on the TV?
I just want to see the
So
score.
respectful he is when he needs something.
I just want to see it. So we start off the show.
That's what she said.
Eagles. Oh my God, that's twice now. Okay, we heard it the first time. We giggled, and now
I don't know if I didn't.
You know who this guy is, though.
I mean, he just loves to repeat. He's causing repetitive.
Laughs at
Repeat.
his own jokes.
No one else is gonna laugh at him.
Well,
Yeah, you got like he
self-aware.
He
Very
tells
self-aware
us
of you.
he tells us Uber stories like we're in the car.
And it's a freaking knee slapper. He's slapping his own
Yeah,
knee.
he's like,
They're
the best.
hysterical.
I'm the best. Well, Doug
He's
Pederson,
not even denying it.
Doug Pederson thinks his ball club's the best, and Doug Pederson. Do you agree or disagree that the Eagles will back up Doug Pederson's guarantee? And it's been consensus on this board that we all agree. And I think the main reason we can all settle on an agreement, if one of us said it or all of us said it, doesn't matter, is, and I say it a million times, the resiliency of this football team.
Yep.
That if you want to bet against them when their backs are against the wall, that's on you. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. So we're going to get in the score predictions, offensive, defensive player of the game. Chance to win you some money from us to you. And since we're givers here, use promo code A2D, get 20% off ATSSportPicks.com. That's ATSSportPicks.com. Use promo code A2D, 20% off. Win money. They're on fire at hockey. I should be following them. I'm a prop. I'm a prop. The Cardinals come up. An elimination game, can't catch a damn baseball. I get cute there, and then I want to go, let me go throw the difference on the Flyers now and get it back. And they showed up, and now 4-1. Now 4-1, and I come hot at them again tonight.
You want the Lakers on, Ralphie?
Thinking Carter's going home. It didn't age well. But let's get into this conversation, and in a few, we'll get into other options outside of Jalen Ramsey, obviously. And I don't want to talk about Ramsey anymore. And then 10-9-8 Sixers, we'll give predictions there. So a lot of prediction time coming up. Greg, starts off, score. We'll circle the room with the score, and we'll go back to offense, defense, player of the game. Do it right, okay? Do it right. Do it right.
I think it's going to be a fairly close game. Obviously, the spread calls that to be that way as well. I'm going to go 24-20.
24-20. All right. Right.
I do think it's going to be a really, really tough game. I think it's going to be a close game because the one thing
Pulled at home.
that's consistent about Prescott, other than the fact that he's just not very good, it's that he's always good enough to keep them in games. As we saw even against the Jets, they sucked for 3.5 quarters, but at the end of the day, they had an opportunity to tie the game. So I'm not going to count on us blowing them out, especially when we talk about we haven't been able to cover, we haven't been able to get to the quarterback, and we haven't been able to get off to hot starts. How about a hot start now? Hey, can one time, please? I feel like I feel like I need to beg for a field goal, let alone a touchdown. Please. I don't even care if it takes us not deferring. Maybe just to change it up. I know that.
Speaking of that, TTP, we've scored 10 points total in first quarters this season, excluding the Jets game.
Yeah, and it was the freaking Jets.
Yeah, we went down and scored on them, obviously, early. Bob Money says, yo. Go ahead. What do you got score-wise?
So my score, I'm going to go with 27-23 Eagles.
All right. You guys both went close, and I agree with what both of you guys are saying. And listen, man, I think we go down there and bend them over. I really, truly do. I think when you're getting 2 starters back that you won a Super Bowl with, right, you get some chemistry back there again. You get some guys feeling good about themselves again back there, trusting each other. And then you got your coach going out that you back saying, hey, we're going to go down there and win this football game, and we're going to be all right, right? And you get that sense of confidence too, right? You got a team down there that's reeling, all right, and decimated by injuries as well, all at the wrong time. This is set up because everybody thinks we're done. This is what happens. This is what goes on here is everybody thinks we're done again. We lose a game, we get embarrassed, okay, and we come back with our best effort. This is this football team. I don't disagree with the close score wins at all. I'm just going to, because this is boring if we're all doing the same damn thing here, right? So I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say 34-21. 34-21, I think we beat them up. I think we go down there. I think we get off to the hot start we're looking for. I think we take the football. Listen, we would have got off to a hot start we were looking for last year if the referees had a clue and the guy upstairs had a clue, okay? Because we got what we were looking for last year when we were begging for a hot start. We got a fumble on their own 10. I know Uncle Sweep's going to say, Tom, you still talking about it? Yeah, I'm never going to stop talking about that because you can lose the game in the first 5 minutes too. Maybe the first 10 seconds when the ball's on the ground and in his hand. He has the ball. He's holding it like an infant. He has the ball so well. Ridiculous. And then who knows how that game goes because you lose on a walk-off TD essentially. Right? Who knows how it goes? So I expect this team to get off to a hot start. I'm excited about this game. I think that group of men in that locker room are excited about this game too. I think when you have guys coming back too, I'm going to keep harping on it. 13-5 with them as starters. 252 pass yards a game on average. Listen, Jalen Ramsey's my guy. You know this. We all know it on draft day. I was joking when we went up to 2. Maybe we're going up to 2 to get Jalen. All right? But at the end of the day, I believe that we can win with these guys back there too. I'm not going to jump off the bridge because we didn't get Ramsey. But if these guys don't play well, then we know that we need to go out and get a Chris Harris, something along that line. But I'm going to give my guys that I won with another chance. You're both healthy. You're both cleared to play. Then let's go win a football game.
Yeah.
And I think that defense is going to be fired up with them two back there, especially Jalen. Jalen brings something to this defense, regardless if you like him or not. He brings a toughness. He brings it, I'm going to tackle you. I'm going to get my beak wet. We talk about that with corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can make up for a lot of stuff if you're handsy. If you're handsy and you want to tackle. There's 2 big things that you can't teach at the corner position.
Especially SEC corners.
Yeah, they want to get physical. And that's why he's so good in the red zone. So I'm excited to get these 2 back. I really am. More Jalen because we've seen Darby a little bit, and he's been banged up and hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
But I suspect as weeks go on and the rest probably helped him and the ACL big time.
Oh, for sure.
Not going to hurt it. But I'm really excited to get Jalen back. I think it does something to this defense. I think the defense is going to come out with a swagger because they get embarrassed. You get embarrassed. And when they get embarrassed, they come back tough. We're going to shut that ass down Sunday. I can't wait. I'm telling you. When I talk 17 months of mortgage payments, I ain't joking with you. We beat that ass Sunday. We're winning the game. You get them guaranteed here, too. I'm right with Doug. We're going to Dallas, and we're winning this football game. And we might even backdoor beat them up by 14. Let's go. Offensive player of the game.
It is now -3.
5-1. Say hot. Punch
and
somebody in the
49.5.
face. -3 who?
Dallas.
Oh.
-3.
Let's go.
49.5.
Load it. Offensive player of the game, Greg.
Deshaun Jackson.
This guy.
Miles Sanders.
All right.
You want me to give a real one?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to go on a limb. Guy's been crushed here.
Mm-hmm.
People are talking about trading him. I'm not saying he's great. I think Nelson gets 100 yards. I think Nelson gets a big play in this football game.
I like it.
Because when everybody's negative on something in here, we know how it goes. We know how that operation goes. Defensively.
Malik Jackson.
Just,
Again, do you...
I know. I'm just...
I just
That's what he does.
I'll go Derek Barnett.
Confidently.
I mean, I've been saying Brandon Graham. I've been saying Fletcher. Should I go Timmy Jernigan? Like what? I haven't said
You were
Doug.
like asking the question. Like, I'll go. Doug Barnett?
Yeah, like
You guys cool?
anyone?
Is anyone else going to take him?
Like, how can I say something? Like, I said Rodney McLeod last week because he was the only guy who had a pulse. He had his worst game of the year. Like,
And he might have been one of the few guys that had a pulse on that defense.
he's been awesome until I said his name.
Yep, until you said his name.
So hopefully it's the opposite effect.
I like Barnett.
I'm glad I don't, but it's the only guy I haven't picked yet.
Well, let me go. I got two options here. I could either go with the guy who's been running his mouth and hope he steps up, or I go with a guy coming back.
Yep, I know you're. Yep.
So part of me wants to go with Malcolm because I need you to play well.
Just go with both so you can take mine.
Okay, then I'm gonna go Malcolm and Jalen Mills. I think them two got to make plays Sunday. They got to make big plays, either third down tackles before the marker. You know what I mean? I just need them to make plays. I really do. I need some guys. That's why you go get D'Angelo.
That's why you get D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. But I need guys.
He's just torching it.
I need some of my guys back, and I need some fire back there, and I need some consistency, and I need to get off the field on third downs. I need to get to the quarterback. There's so many things I need to do, and getting some guys back hopefully gets us in that right direction there, because it can't get any worse than what it's been.
No, for sure.
But that's who I'm going to go with, because you just got to pray. Now we're in pray mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm praying my quarterback goes down there and flat out spins it Sunday. That's what I'm praying on, too. I just don't take him as player of the game.
Someone catches the football for him, sure.
Yeah, and I expect the guy who hasn't caught a football for him to catch a football. And Nelson, he needs to come have a big game this Sunday.
Alshon, too. I mean, he's due for like 2 drops a game now. Where's that coming
Yeah,
from?
well, Carson slings it, babe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit gets on you. But he can't drop footballs. And the one he's going for a touchdown.
He's running out of bounds.
And he falls out of bounds.
Run straight.
It's your first time running?
Nobody's near you.
Oh, by the way, we won a Super Bowl by signing who as a free agent? We won a Super Bowl. Remember? Who did we sign as a free agent?
I mean, LeGarrette Blount.
Alshon.
Oh, Alshon, yeah.
No, I'm just giving you names.
I mean, there's a lot of, yeah.
I'm just giving you names of, like, you got to go out and sign some vets and some players.
Yeah, he was pretty good in the playoffs.
To win, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's still good. I'm
Yeah.
still good with him.
Oh,
But,
yeah, of course.
But not having Deshaun hurts him. Because Deshaun hurts this whole thing that they tried to set up here.
Yeah.
Because now you got 2 guys, and Nelly and Deshaun, who can stretch a defense, which opens up everything over the middle. Now Ertz gets more balls. Now Alshon gets more balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kills them because now you only have one guy who's going to beat you deep, who has the opportunity to, and that's Nelson. It's the only guy. But his deep ball,
and they don't use him that way.
but his deep ball catch radius isn't what I need it to be either.
Well, talk about a guy who needs to wake the hell up, Zach Ertz. I
Yeah.
mean, come on now.
Hasn't played well, right?
No.
Hasn't played well.
Soft as hell.
That son of a bitch is still on a book tour.
I'm waiting for him to cry every loss because that's like the new thing.
Yeah, it's on him.
Oh, I've let this team down, my performance. Okay, then don't suck.
Yeah.
And listen, I appreciate him. He had a great year last year. But again, how long? Because after a while, and not just us, but as a fan base, we got to stop talking about, like with Roseman, with Zach Ertz, talking about, oh, he had a good 2017, 2018. Like, then we get into like 2008 Phillies territory of like talking about how good guys are based off of what they did. It's like the Super Bowl year was great. That's like 2.5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Zach Ertz was great last year, but so far, not good enough.
Nah.
Not good enough.
I remember the people that were bitching he got the ball too much last year? I would like for him just to catch some balls, too. I would like for him to break a tackle.
Run 9 yards instead of 8. Finish
things.
a route.
Yeah, but I'm tired of the woe is me shit. I'm tired of like, oh, I let my team down. Well, stop letting your team down then.
And because here's the thing. Guess who's keeping his mouth shut, and he's not getting any play time. But when he does, he's absolutely keeping his mouth shut. He could easily be running his mouth about not getting playing time.
When he's not playing volleyball.
When he gets the ball, except for that one drop in that Detroit Lions game, I'm not going to ignore that.
Big one.
Big
yeah,
drop.
that was big. That was big. But aside from that, when he's gotten the ball, he's done his job. Hasn't said a peep.
No,
Nothing.
block.
And he can actually block. He can actually run for more than 2 yards.
Second-year player, nor should you.
No, I understand
You know
that.
what I mean?
No, but I mean, listen, I think we overhype players in this town, and the things I give Zach Ertz credit for, he's a great route runner, and he's got great hands, okay? But I end it there, and he's a necessity. I'm not mad to have him, but I need him to step up.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I need everybody to step up. So Lindell's saying, like, it's not being so hard on Ertz. I'm going to be hard on everybody.
Start playing like a top 3 tight end.
Yeah, like this is unacceptable. All right? It really is. And the woe is me is unacceptable to me, too. Go play better goddamn football. All right? You're a reason for slow starts. So, I hate that. I hate it. It's just something that I can't stand either.
We as a fan base ignore the fact that he can't block and he can't run for more than a yard because he has the great hands. When the hands go, it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing now?
No, he's a great route runner. So
Yes.
when the ability to route run goes, you're useless.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
But the fact that the whole thing I always put on is like, okay, I don't need you to have a ton of yak if you're catching everything. But now you're not getting open. You know what I mean? Now what's the issue now?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how he's being targeted from the other defenses and stuff like that. So, but you're absolutely right. He's not getting open, and then he's not catching the ball even if he is at times.
Yeah, just not consistent enough.
Right.
It's just a common theme.
It's like exactly the consistency is like when we talked about Bryce all year, but then we also realized that Bryce is being pitched way differently than everybody else in Major League Baseball.
Well, how about this, Greg? When you're 3-3, you're going to have a lot of inconsistency, right?
Sure.
True.
You are what your record says you are. And right now it's a 3-3 football team. Just like the Dallas Cowboys. However way you got there is the way you got there. Some different than others. Cowboys got off to the hot start, talk of the town, boom, lose 3 in a row. That's how crazy this league can be, right? Us, we just been the definition of up and down. That dunk.
Yeah, over Jared Dudley and Dwight Howard.
Heart and soul of the team, Ralphie. There you go.
I forgot you had Jared Dudley. You guys are doomed. Mr. Potato.
Tristan Russo, I think it's pretty clear Goddard is the future. No, there's no question about that. Bill Motorbrook. Remember the people that said trade Ertz when his stock was high and play Goddard? Yeah. Well, that stock where you probably could have, Mr. Draft Picks got stuff back. You didn't want to, but I'm good with it. I want Zach Ertz here, so I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not at the trade part.
He's still only 27, 28 himself.
Yeah,
so
I'm not in the business of trading him.
Go.
I'm not in the business of trading Zach Ertz. I think what Ryan's saying and what I'm backing him up on is I need you to play better.
Sure.
So it's as simple as that.
And to
My
your
fantasy
point,
team needs you to play better too.
Oh yeah, well, no, I actually don't need that. I don't need that.
I do.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. But my point is, and kind of goes to your point, when your team is 3-3 and you expect so much more, we as a fan base are not going to ignore the players that were great, should be great, and we talk about all offseason. We argue with 49ers fans and other fans, oh, he's better than Kittle. He's better than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
he's better than Kelsey.
We vouch for you because of what you've done. Just live up to it, please.
Yeah.
When no one else is. Because as we talked about, we're not ripping 11. We're really not ripping Alshon. Like, we're not ripping the few guys that are actually playing well. We're not. We're just ripping everyone else. But Zach Ertz, unfortunately, so far, is not one of those. So he's a part of it. And he's not safe. He's not.
Him and Nelson have killed us offensively.
Yeah.
So.
And Hollins, who doesn't want to be a receiver.
Yeah, I want to play special teams. What, dude? I'll cut
Be
you
a
right
corner.
now.
Be a corner. We'll need you.
Cut you right now.
It's not like you can't catch it on the offensive side, so it wouldn't change much to go to corner.
Yeah.
So let's do this, right? Let's get into this. We dissected the game enough. We talked enough Eagles, Cowboys, and we sort of talked enough about options. When you talk about for trades, right? We talked enough about it. I mean, we know who them options could be, and we got to hope them teams lose so them options become even more available than they are, say, today. So we know that. Then we just be going in circles if we do that again. So let's get into something that's new, right? Let's get something that's different. A starting five that's different.
Ooh.
A little bit of a basketball team that's different. A little 10-9-8 season predictions. And listen, if you look through the Eastern Conference, there's no question who the best team right now on paper is, and it's clear as day. It's the Philadelphia 76ers. Milwaukee losing Brogdon kills them, right? That really hurts what they do. And the Sixers, okay, you lost Redick, you lost Butler, but Josh Richardson can play. And I'm not saying he's an upgrade over Butler, but he's close to it because he's more athletic. He's going to give you 16 a game. He walks into that. Doesn't necessarily need the basketball.
I'm sorry, who's
to
this?
score? Josh Richardson.
Josh, okay, yeah.
Okay, doesn't really necessarily need the basketball to score. So that's an upgrade to me in a way.
He's only getting better, too. He's not even close to being at his peak potential yet.
And then so I got rid of Redick and Butler, and I brought in Horford and Josh Richardson. To me, that's an upgrade. Defensively, it's a big-time upgrade because now the bigger thing is I'm really long. My starting five is extremely long and is the best in the Eastern Conference, and it's not even close. Okay? So, to me, that's where they're going, if healthy. They're going to the Eastern Conference, but it's exciting. It's exciting, the roster that Elton Brandon's put together here. You know, you could say that you have some concerns about the bench, but with Mike Scott and Josh and James Ennis off your bench, makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with two vets there with some younger guys. But what I saw from Thibault and some other guys is like,
good.
you know, I think this roster is long, athletic, can defend, and it's going to be a problem.
And that's the key too, because we obviously have our stars in Ben and Joe, and they're still young, and Josh Richardson's still young, and Thibault and Zaire young, but that word you know Horford, Scott, Ennis, Tobias to a sense, Kyle O'Quinn, bringing Amir Johnson back. Those are veterans that have all played in this league for a long time that can help mold these kids and get them through a high expectation season. You know what I mean? Because most of those guys, especially Al, he's been in just, I think, every year almost. He's close to JJ in a sense where he's been in the playoffs a lot.
Well, especially because he's been in the Bad Eastern Conference for a long portion of his career.
Who, Al?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I mean Al's a great defender.
Oh my goodness.
Savvy. Can obviously turn his game into being able to shoot the three and stretch it.
And he adds so much versatility to this team, especially when you have a guy in Joel who, regardless if he plays 82 games or not, we're always going to have that in the back of our mind, that health factor issue.
Of course.
Yeah,
right? So now he allows him, instead of playing 36 minutes, he's playing 28 minutes. You know, because you have Al, and now you have some of these other veterans, Mike Scott, that can go into different spots and spell Joe for a couple more minutes to where, almost like the Kawhi factor last year, he comes into the playoffs and he's just a monster.
Just because you came in great physical shape doesn't mean I don't want to take care of you if I can and have you right at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're right about Kawhi. Like, the reason Kawhi came out like a man on a mission is because his body was essentially healthier and better condition at the time from wear and tear than the other guys in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny too because, and I didn't ever think I would ever be saying this, but the one guy we didn't mention as far as the bench, even feels good to have somebody like Trey Burke here. Not that Trey Burke is a big time difference maker, but guess what? And no disrespect to TJ, but we have a guy who makes plays, who's a backup, who's actually making plays. We didn't have that in TJ. We didn't. As much as he was loved here and everything, he was an effort guy. That's an upgrade. So as much as, and I understand, there's still holes on this bench as far as shooting. I understand that, and I'll be the first one to tell you that. But there's nothing glaring anymore.
You don't believe in the cork?
Don't get me started with Furkan. Okay,
I cork? Come on, man.
The cork. I can't stand Furkan Korkmaz.
I love him, actually.
Why? Because that 40-point game in the friggin' summer league?
in the summer league.
That was his legacy game?
Yeah, exactly.
Tristan says it's the most hyped I've been for a Sixers team.
I was more excited about the Sixers than I was about the Eagles, and I love the
me
Eagles.
too. I just quietly went about my business, not talking about them a lot. You know what I mean?
I might have been more hyped for the year they signed Jason Richardson and Elton Brand, when they were going back before, like, the whole process side of it. Just because I almost bought season tickets that year.
Oh, God.
So, like, I'm trying to go back to, like, up until there.
Don't put that in. Don't compare it to that, please, for the love of God.
But
don't put that in there.
For an actual team that has talent
and
can make a difference, you're absolutely right. There's nothing like this.
Well, and you talk about, too, we were kind of talking during the break about, while we had talent on that final roster, heading into the playoffs last year, no doubt, like Jimmy Butler, very talented. There's no chemistry there. Number one, because we kind of just filled everything in, and it's kind of like, okay, if Ben's not, playing, if he doesn't have the ball, then Jimmy doesn't have the ball. It's kind of counterintuitive. But also, they didn't play a lot together. So as much as we all go back and we think, it would have been awesome to see what they truly did if they played together, when you talk about the true chemistry, it doesn't even match what this is going to be, especially defensively, which people talk about. And again, we're going to have it all year, I'm sure. The Brett Brown haters and everything. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a huge Brett Brown guy, but I've never been one to go out and say, "Oh, fire Brett now." I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with that. People are now starting to say, and I can agree with it, to where this is finally a team that has Brett's DNA in it. When you talk about how much he values defensive ability.
Yeah, on brand.
The size factor.
What do good GMs do, right? If they're doing the grocery shopping, they know what
they got to get for their coach.
Yeah, they know what they got to get for their coach, and they know what recipe is going to work for their coach. And Alan Brand came in, and what are you guys smiling about?
Sweeps.
I know. Yeah, I got that
You didn't
too.
text me.
No, you're in there.
I got to
am
read.
I?
Yeah, I got to read it in a second. But no, it's funny because you need him to right. Like you said, that Brett's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, that's spot on because he's got to be able to go get the players that fit his DNA, right? And Horford fits his DNA. Josh Richardson fits his DNA. These are palms up type of cats that can also create their own offense. Don't necessarily need the ball to score, right? You're talking about two guys that can walk into 20 not needing the basketball in a way, right? And can defend. It's huge upgrade. This is the longest team in the East and starting 5-wise and maybe in basketball. Like you want to play against that 5? How long and athletic they are? That's a tough matchup for any team. That's a lot of contested shots.
No, it is.
Right? Because you're that long. That's beating you up on the one key thing we talk about. Winning the rebounding.
Yes, which we
dominating
never
on
could
the
do.
glass.
And the
the
other thing too, not only contested shots, but coaches at whatever level love like deflecting passes, getting into passing lanes.
Yep.
Disrupting, deflecting passes. And you're going to see a whole lot of that this year.
Well, especially
I know they now keep that stat per se, but even before they kept that stat, deflections were almost counted in a coach's mindset as much as steals.
And assists is another thing that they've done well with, where they really move the ball well together, and we'll see how that with these guys. But I think it's going to be just as good, if not better, because I think them two move the ball well too. It's a really good mix of guys. It's a little bit of everything, right? I mean, if you look about it, you have your big man, your true legitimate star big man. You have a power forward who all he does is win and can shoot the 3 ball, right? Can defend, can do everything there. You have your small forward in Tobias, who again can do everything essentially. Can defend, can shoot the 3, can run in transition, which all these guys can do.
and have a defined role now.
And then a role, right? And then you have your 2 in Josh Richardson, who again can do everything, can shoot the 3 ball enough, can create his own shot, can take you off the dribble, can defend, athletic, can run. And then you have your point guard who, if this jump shot is a real thing, and I'm gonna and there's 2 things that have to come, right? But if the jump shot comes and the confidence comes and the dog and the killer come, this guy might become the best player in the league real quick. Real quick. But listen, I need to see the killer. Right? The killer at the end of the game is going away. The one thing we say about Joel Embiid coming in great shape, that you might have 2 MVP candidates on this basketball team. If things go the way expected.
Could be.
You might have 2 guys in the top 5, top 10 maybe, in MVP voting. Because, listen, if this guy shoots it, it's over. And if he has some killer in him, it's over. It's over. Joel, it could be over with just Joel. Yeah. I'm not even getting into Joel, who's my guy. Yep. Joel himself could run away with the MVP. He's a point-a-minute guy. He can play 20 and drop you 24. So if he's playing 30 minutes, he's probably dropping you 35, 15. So, I mean, there's all-stars all over this starting 5.
Yeah.
And you can make the argument, maybe you take them in the Clippers, the 2 top starting 5s in basketball.
Yeah.
And right? I mean, do you disagree?
No, and I think the thing that pushes over the edge to make us the best starting 5 is that, as we talked about during the break, my opinion,
I love break talks. Go ahead.
Oh, they're the best. They're the best. We're not going to see a lot of that Clippers starting 5. We're not really going to see it to where I think. And listen, what are you smirking?
No, because he's
he's
stroking right now.
living in there.
He's setting the plastic up in the producer chair.
LeBron is just stroking right now.
Oh, is he?
And he's stroking too.
I saw him take the shot, and I saw him make it.
Here we go. Here we go again.
He'll probably pull up. Yep.
Swish. It's a shame. What a shame.
Oh,
There we go. Dwight.
Hate to see it.
Fits right in.
Yep.
Is that Dwight? I have no idea.
You hold the
there he
chair
is.
down.
Don't take your
Like
clothes
you
off.
hold the thing down.
Yeah, I'm good over here.
Don't take the clothes off in the locker room around the boy.
But I don't think we're going to see a lot of that Clippers starting 5 because you have, obviously, the Kawhi minutes restriction, kind of the load management. Also, Paul George is missing the first month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To where, listen, I'm not trying to compare. I am and I'm not. I'm comparing in a sense to what the issues were for us when we had that final starting five heading into the playoffs, to where we talked about we're not going to see the full chemistry because they didn't see a lot of each other as far as in games playing with each other. It's not going to be comparable because I'm trying to match up Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons instead of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Like, clearly, those others are going to have an easier time because they're better overall players. But when you then equate it to, well, that's a harder conference. It's a harder conference playoffs. Mm-hmm. Rustiness, health. Again, I'm not saying they're going to be, a 7th seed and be out in the first round, but everyone's quick to crown them because, you look at all the stars. And I understand it. But again, chemistry is huge, as we saw.
Well,
and if you're not on the floor together a lot and you're not healthy a lot, well, you're not seeing full potential.
I disagree with you to a point because I agree with you on the premise, right? Mm-hmm. I just can't agree on the Kawhi premise. Right? Because I just saw him go to a team that he had no familiarity with, right? Barely play that much and go win an NBA championship. So they're a 1 or 2 seed.
Oh, no.
If he's on the court.
I agree with that. My point is the starting five factor.
I'll go with that.
Oh, yes. No. We're gonna see them.
I'll go with
seeing them.
Yeah. No, I just want to confirm.
No. Again, this is not
if he's healthy, they're good.
This isn't a 2018 Los Angeles Lakers.
They didn't even need Paul George. They didn't even need. That team is so good. They didn't even need Paul George.
They got him to get Kawhi. It was kind of like, might as well.
They don't even need him. They can say take 2 months off.
While we have you on the phone.
Go to Hawaii, take a break. Yeah. Get out of town.
The one thing I wanted to touch on, which you bring up a great point when you talk about the deflections on defense. Here's the most exciting thing, which I don't think anyone's even talked about because I didn't even think about it until you said it. Well, what are those deflection costs? Turnovers. What are the turnovers costs? Fast breaks. Who's the guy who is awesome in fast breaks? Ben Simmons. Yep. It plays right in to where if we're causing turnovers in the fast breaks, which is going to put him in another position to succeed.
Yep, his spot.
And in reality, too, this is probably, we'll call it year 3 of the truly Brett Brown concern. Or not concern, but
Error?
Yeah. Right? Or you can truly now start to criticize, grade, whatever you want to do with Brett Brown.
Yeah, 2016 was a wash because that's when you still had the Joel Embiid. They shut him down.
Yeah.
That was the first time they had a pulse. And then I get it. 2017 was the first year.
Because you made it to playoffs.
And they were all – Ben was a rookie. I'm sure people – he wasn't really a rookie. He was a rookie. Joel was the first year he really played any series of minutes.
And that's what we asked, right?
Yes.
We all, at least the guys that were Brett Brown guys or were hesitant to get rid of him right away.
Yeah.
Right? You were just like, let him have a real team. And then that's when that started to assemble. So now we're year 3. Mm-hmm. So now –
you got a real team.
You got a real team.
Yes, of course.
And you have a legit, real expectation.
But this is the bigger thing that went missing when you talked about him or criticized him over the first 3 years, right, of his tenure. What's he been here?
Six.
So with a real roster, you say this is year 3, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But 3, yes.
So, but this is now you talk about 3 years into this. Now you're 2 cornerstones of your process and organization are now coming into their own, right? Mm-hmm. We talk about Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. So that's a big part of this team's growth and what kind of coach we look at him at, too, as they come into their own. So not only are they coming into their own, you had a great vet in your starting 5, you bring Tobias back, and you add Josh Richardson. You got all the makings of a great basketball team. So now you can start to be judged because if this team's healthy and you don't at least go to an Eastern Conference Final, if not win it, there's a problem.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, to me, it's Eastern Conference Final or bust.
Completely agree.
Right? I'm not going to say, like I say with the Eagles, I'm not going to tell you got to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to start with my expectation. My expectation is, hey, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals team.
Absolutely.
So let's go be that team.
Yeah, it's no more second round. We're out in 6 or 7. That's over. That's over now.
Yeah, no more play hard. Oh man, we just had 5 bounces not go our way.
Because then it's a trend. Like listen, I wasn't satisfied last year. Like another second round, back-to-back second round exits. But if you have 3, that's now a trend. And then you go to constant. And like I said, not trying to make it a Brett Brown thing a week before the season even starts. But again, that's where it's going to go to.
Yeah, if this team's healthy, there's no shot they finish. They get knocked out before the Eastern Conference Finals. No shot.
No.
Read Sweeps' comment before we get off the air so he can't tell us that we didn't read it. And he said, I think he just said, fuck Brett.
He says, great show, boys. 2019 people want my hoop stars playing 48 minutes and working on both ends of the floor. You can rest when you're dead, Buttercups. F. Brett.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to find out if the F. Brett's real is the point. With this roster, if they're not successful, then you start to question the coaching. But like I said, they get to an Eastern Conference final and they go to an NBA final where I think they're going.
Yeah.
Right? I believe they're going to. Then I'm not going to have any issues with Brett.
Do we have predictions, or we do that, or save that for when we actually start next week?
Win-loss wise?
Oh yeah, and then championship,
All right.
finals appearance.
Well, let me go this.
Okay.
Over under 52.
Wins over.
Well, give me 1 second.
Yeah, see what the over under is.
Let me
on
see
that.
if I can actually find it real quick.
Yeah, I was just taking it as a shot.
No,
at it.
absolutely.
It might be like 52, 54.
I think it was like 53 last time I checked. I think that was the opening because it was. I remember thinking it was only a game or two above what we've had the last
Wow,
couple of years.
I wish I love it if I almost nailed that. Right, Ralphie? We don't even need to go.
What's your over-under, Ralphie? I'm sure you
I have
memorized
no
it.
clue.
Oh,
Can you look that up for me, please?
We'll
Thank
get
you.
there, Ralph. Jeez.
Yeah, come on now. You got the TV. You got the TV.
You got Steve Kerr's hair. I mean, you have enough. And he's jerking off.
What the hell? What the hell is that? You see that?
That'll be a meme. That'll be on Twitter somewhere.
Yeah, that's all over.
Is that the Ross thing from Friends?
That's just bumping heads.
Here we go.
Oh, we got another one.
Time is yours.
Sorry. Oh.
Sweep says, sorry, I'm super pissed right now. Most of my Halloween decorations blew away in the 70-mile-an-hour
Oh, my
wind.
God. Holy shit. I didn't even think about all people's decorations. That's good. Jeez. You got my skeleton down the street, Rob?
Well, he had that pumpkin man from that one video a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you remember Pumpkin Me on?
Sweeps, do you have those decorations where they're inflated at at night and then they're just dead? They're just deflated in the middle of the
Oh, get that shit out.
You weren't far off. 54.5.
All right. I was going to say 54. I'm over.
over.
I'm
58.
over.
58 wins.
Actually, the Milwaukee Bucks
56.
for this one article, whatever, is the high at 57.5.
That's a crock of shit.
Yeah, no, it's under.
They're good,
Because
but they're
it
not.
says, will Milwaukee push for 60 wins? I don't think they're valuing Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah,
enough.
they're not at all. They're not at all.
You know?
They're good. They're the 2 seed. They ain't the 1. The 1's right here in Philadelphia.
The top 2, though, are the Bucks and the Sixers before you get to the Rockets and the Jazz Clippers, all at 53.
Jazz
I
are
like the
really good
Jazz.
basketball
I like
team.
them.
Rockets, Jazz, Clippers, all at 53.5.
We're the Nuggets because I think the Nuggets are going to be one of the better.
52.5. They're next.
They're going to do the same thing they did last year, to where they're going to be awesome in the regular season, then they're going to run out of steam. Same with the Rockets.
Lakers at 50.
All right, so over.
Yeah.
So how far do you got them going?
I am winning the finals. I am winning everything. I have us on a parade, on a freaking float.
Yeah, I'm
in
right
June.
there. I'm right there. I'm floating.
I mean, I have them getting to the finals.
All right.
Because I think, again, if you run into Kawhi again, and I'm not saying we can't beat him, but I'm saying
We're set up defensively better.
we
than
are,
he is.
yes.
Absolutely.
But it's still going to be a tough one. So
Everything's tough.
I'm gonna say get to the finals.
All right. I expect to see me and Ryan expect to see each other on Broad and the rest
Oh,
of the
I'll
family.
see you there.
No, I expect you to be there.
You know,
Expect to get an Uber ride over from you. Not sure if you're staying.
surge pricing.
What do you
So he
say?
says, Brodo, Paulie the Pumpkin Man is okay. He's on the porch still. Paulie the Pumpkin Man. That's
He was
it.
tied down.
He was protected.
All right, man. We love you. Thanks for joining us. We talk about a brand new show. Uncle Sweeps might even be here one night.
Ooh.
We expect to see Rye a lot more. Ralphie, the chair's available at times for you. Frank, no shot.
I'll be getting a
Wilson,
text.
it's debatable. See him enough. But for everybody else, water's warm. Jump on in.
Dip your toe in.
For Tom and Greg, AM and the PM, H2D Radio, we love you. We'd like to thank ATSSportPicks.com for sponsoring the show. All you got to do is use promo code A2D, get 20% off. What do you say?
He says, not for Halloween Rhino. Oh, no, he says, not for Halloween, Ryan, but for Christmas. Yes, I have the 6 inflatables. So during the day, he's just got dead inflatables all over his wall.
When you got a little one, you got to, you know
That's
what I mean?
true.
You go all out.
I was horrified of those as a kid, but I understand.
No,
I won't go near a house.
and we got to thank our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Greg Moagovic, Ralphie D on the 1s and 2s, and LeBron stroking, we out.